Hello, sports fans, and welcome to this week's Democrat Sports Spotlight. I'm Democrat sports writer Seth Stringer, and joining me today is Travis Cairer, head coach of the Sacred Heart Gremlins girls soccer program. First off, how are you doing today, Coach?
Doing good.
You know, I know you're coming off a tough loss last night, a 2-1 loss to St. Paul Lutheran. That puts you all at 2-5 on the early season. You know, aside from a 6-0 loss to Camdenton, all those games have been competitive. A couple of tough losses in there. I know it's been a tough schedule so far, but you beat O'Hara, shut them out the other night. You said it wasn't the perfect game, but it was the best game y'all played all year. Is that kind of the team ceiling, you know, where they play great defense and, convert one of the scoring opportunities? I mean, obviously, O'Hara is a pretty seasoned club. It's a big win for a small program like y'all's.
Yeah, they definitely, I think they beat Sacred Heart by 5 last year, and I think their mentality coming in probably played a little bit into that win the other night. But they were pretty decent. We did play fairly well. I think we do have the ability to score quite a few more goals than we have. We just haven't quite worked as much on the offensive end. We've worked a lot on our possession, a lot on that flat four that we play on the defensive end, and it definitely showed against O'Hara because it cut off a lot of their opportunities that they got were kind of taken away by the organization that we have on defense, or that we had on defense that game. And we haven't worked as much on the offensive third, but we do. I think with the girls that we have, we definitely have the potential to score some goals.
I mean, you have a lot of talent. Just to name a few, it seems like Honor Katie, Gabby Evers, Jenna Hahn bring a lot of speed and can cover a lot of ground. Devin Wadley's obviously the vocal leader out there. She brings a veteran presence. Sydney Eichholtz is solid in front of the goal. And then along with Wadley, Eric Bykirk and especially Morgan Bogue have the scoring touch. Seems like the talent there, but it's a young program, and the consistency is just not.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is we are pretty young. We start 5, sometimes 6 freshmen out of 11, so that plays into the inexperience as well, and I think we have nowhere to go but up on the season. I think we definitely play a pretty rough schedule here. We play a couple Class 2 schools, play another Class 3 next Monday, and playing those kind of competition, playing those kind of teams really help us out in the long run towards the end of the season.
Speaking of Morgan Bogue, she's only a freshman. She's one of the 5 or 6 freshmen who start nightly. We saw her penchant last night for finding the back of the net. I mean, how important is it for her to mature or kind of seize that go-to role for this team to succeed?
I think she's a big part of it, as several of our freshmen are. We're anchored really by Devin's very vocal and a real good leader for us as a forward. And then Morgan kind of runs the controlling aspect of that center mid and really works hard at that. But I think she's able to do what she does because of the work that the other players put in. I think Johanna does a lot of the defensive midfield, and that leaves Morgan the opportunity to open up a little bit and do a little bit more forward and get a little more forward and be a little more dangerous in front of the net.
Talked about the tough schedule coming up. You got Greenwood on Friday, then you got Smith Cotton on Monday. I know these teams have never played, you mentioned earlier. The main purpose of this matchup is to raise money and awareness for breast cancer research. But also it'll be a good barometer of where the team's at. This is a Smith Cotton team that's won 3 straight West Central Conference titles. They're reigning district champs. Talk about the importance of this matchup just for both reasons, for charitable and for competition.
We'll mostly talk about the charitable reason of it. That's pretty much, Sean and I talked several days before we started, or before we decided to do this, and we kind of decided that we were going with the deal that it's more than a game. It's not just a soccer game, and the less we look at it like that, the better the game is going to be, we think. The less we let it get mentally towards a soccer game, the better off it's going to be. We want to keep it kind of towards that community aspect, the charitable event.
And what made y'all choose breast cancer? Research. I mean, is it a cause close to y'all's heart, or?
Well, actually, it was something that he and I went to a college game a couple years back and saw it, and they were wearing the pink jerseys and thought it would be a good idea and thought it would be a good kind of community event for the girls when we actually started it last year at Smith Cotton. Last year when we were both there at Smith Cotton, we did that, and that was the first year that we did it, and we kind of talked on and off as to whether or not we were going to do it this year, being that it were the two teams that had really never played each other and were kind of, I don't know, have that little rivalry that doesn't even really exist, but that little in-town rivalry. So we kind of questioned it and decided that we were going to go ahead and go with it.
We look forward to that matchup, and we'll be out there, and good luck, Coach. Thanks for your time today.